Hey everyone, Renee here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all the books that I hope to read in the month of September. So here we are with another TBR that most likely will not be accomplished, but we dream big here. Okay, we're just gonna go with it and hope that this one actually works out. I can't wait to look back at the end of the year and look back at all of my previous TBRs and pinpoint which one was the most successful, because I just think it's gonna be a mess all around. August has been a mess. I don't even want to talk about it, but hopefully the stack of books that I have for September will be a nice reset. I have been in the worst reading slump ever. Like, August has definitely been my worst reading month, so hopefully these books for September will improve that. So I have some books that I have physically and then others that I either have on my Kindle or don't own yet. So and by don't own yet, I mean I'm gonna buy them. It's fine. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it and get into the books that I have. Starting with the first one, which is Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is a book that I've heard so much about. Several of my friends have read this and they absolutely loved it. Like, as soon as I messaged my group chat and said that I was going to be reading this, so many of them freaked out and said how much they loved it. So hopefully this is a good one. I honestly think I'm going to start with this for September. I feel like this is the perfect book to get me out of a reading slump. Neon Gods is a Hades and Persephone retelling. It is Greek mythology. It is apparently very, very steamy. It even says on the cover that it's unspeakably hot. And because of that, I feel like I can't take this out in public. But it's fine. So I'm really hoping that this just sucks me in and pulls me out of my reading slump. Like, please. And along with this, I know I said that I was going to only be doing books that I physically own, but I feel like I can't talk about this without talking about A Touch of Darkness. I'm going to be reading this as well. This is another Hades and Persephone retelling, a little spicy, great romance. A lot of people really love it. I've been hearing a lot about it lately. And I think I mentioned both of these books in my last TBR. Of course, they didn't get read in August, but I do still plan on doing a comparison video between the two of these, see which one I like more, and comparing the spice and just everything about it. So I definitely plan on reading these back to back, and I just think it's going to be a really fun time. I'm actually really, really excited for A Touch of Darkness and Neon Gods. So yes. Then moving on, we have The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This book, one, has such a stunning cover. Like, oh my gosh. And I know this is irrelevant to the point, but inside of it is also so stunning. Like, are you kidding? I've never seen a book that was so beautiful on the inside. Almost makes me want to display it without the cover, but then the cover's also so beautiful, so wow. To be honest, I don't even know what this is about. I don't. But it is a newer release. It came out this year, and I am really excited to read it. So inside, it just says, for centuries, witches have maintained the climate, their power peaking in the season of their birth. But their control is faltering as the atmosphere becomes more erratic. All hope lies with Clara, whose rare magic is tied to every season. I'm not going to go more into it than that, but this is like climate control witches? Is that what I'm hearing? Excuse me? I don't know. That sounds so interesting. I don't know. I feel like this is going to have such an interesting and unique magic system, and I'm so here for it. Moving on, actually, I think the next three books are books that you've heard me mention before, unfortunately. Just haven't gotten to them, but I really want to now. The first one is Bunny by Mona Awad. We all know what this book is, but nobody knows how to explain it. And I don't either. To be honest, it kind of sounds like a sorority gone deadly, but worded in very weird ways. So I'm gonna see if that's accurate. I genuinely don't know. And if I'm wrong, oh well, at least I'll go into it blind and will be completely surprised. And hopefully I love it. The next one is The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. Once again, another repeat on this TBR. You've seen it before. I, of course, didn't get to it, even though this is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, so I definitely do want to. It is more of a sci-fi read, which I am a little nervous on because I don't typically like sci-fi books. If I have it correct, it follows two estranged sisters. One is on this deserted island, and the other is in this almost post-apocalyptic eco-city, who sets out to find her deserted sister. So I don't know if that's correct. I might have worded that weird, but the premise is there. The premise is there. So hopefully I actually get to it this month. I would love that. But I would love to get to all these books. So we'll see what happens with that. Next up we have Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I honestly think that this book has been on my TBR several times this year. I'm not even going to go into what it's about, because at this point, I just feel like I'm repeating myself for no reason because I just won't read it. Like, this literally has been on my TBR since February. And it sounds like I will absolutely love it, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up. To be honest, I've been reading a lot of romance lately, romance and thriller and horror, and I'm new to the romance genre and slightly new to the thriller genre as well. So I feel like a lot of my reading this year has been more geared towards those genres that I've completely forgotten about my love of fantasy. I have not read a fantasy book since January, and I think that's why I haven't picked this up. It's just because I somehow have not been in the fantasy mood, and that is so disappointing because, like I said, fantasy used to be my all-time favorite genre. I'm not quite sure if it is anymore, so I definitely want to read this and see if I get those same feelings that I did reading fantasy before, and especially with the new one coming out in, I think, October, Kingdom of the Cursed. I really want to be caught up by then because I really want to read it with everyone else. So yeah, and apparently the main love interest, what's his name, Wrath, is a hottie. So, and then last of the physical books that I have is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon McGuire. This is actually a library book that I checked out because I don't own the Wayward Children series yet, even though I definitely want to, because this is book 3 in the Wayward Children series, and I really, really liked the first 2, and I feel like I'm really gonna like this. This is just a series that I always come back to, I always think about. It just is so transportive. So in this world, there are doors that appear to children, and if the children go through them, it takes them to a completely different world. And there is a boarding school for the lost wayward children, for the children who have left their doors, gotten kicked out from their doors, whatever, and they're having a hard time coming to terms with being back in reality. It's just so fascinating, and like I said, it's so transportive. Like, the world building in here is so good. Like, I genuinely have so many strong visuals when I'm reading this book. The series is so short. Like, the books are all like less than 200 pages, so they're quick reads, but they definitely pack a punch. Then the next book that I plan on reading is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. This is a book that's been on my radar ever since I've read From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. That is so far the only book by that author I have read, and it is a shame because Mariana Zapata has the potential to become one of my all-time favorite authors. I absolutely adored From Lukov with Love. I love the writing style, the slow burn, the romance, just everything about it. So I'm really excited to read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I believe this one is the one that involves football, and I am a big football fan, so I think that that would definitely correlate well with me. It is a chunker, like always. I feel like all of her books are going to be really chunky, but they're so worth it. And I typically am not a fan of slow burn, but when it comes to Mariana Zapata, it is just done so well that I love it. Like, if it was any other book, I'd be like, please, come on already, like, kiss. Like, I need you to kiss, like, before we get to the halfway point. But with Mariana Zapata, that's not going to happen, but it doesn't even matter because she just writes so well. So I definitely want to get to this book this month. It is definitely a high priority. Next up, I would like to get to Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is book 1 in the Addicted series, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure the premise of it, but I have heard really good things about it, especially lately. Most recently, Steph Boer talked about it, and I actually really like her recommendations, so I feel like I have to read it and give it a shot. And another thing that really intrigues me about this book, besides the talk about it I've heard, is when I went onto Goodreads and saw this little blurb. The fans of Gossip Girl, Friends, and Euphoria will devour this edgy new adult romance set in a world of lust, fame, swoon-worthy men, and friendships that run deeper than blood. Okay, that had me at for fans of Gossip Girl and Euphoria, because those are two of my favorite shows. And if this book has similar vibes to that, I'm getting edgy, rich people drama, steamy romance, and to be honest, I'm so here for that. So I cannot wait to try this series. I'm stoked. Now, also in September, I would like to also kind of expand my Colleen Hoover knowledge. So I kind of just want to pick a random Colleen Hoover book. I don't even know, but that's gonna be. So far, I've read Ugly Love, Verity, and It Ends With Us, and I have enjoyed all three of them. So I really want to continue making my way through Colleen Hoover's books. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to pick up next. I really don't even know the plots of most of them, but one that does keep jumping out to me is November 9. I don't know what's drawing me to this one. I read the synopsis, can't remember the synopsis. I feel like that happens with a lot of my TBRs. I don't remember what a lot of these books are about, but they jumped out at me enough that I felt like reading them. And I feel like that's a great thing, because then you go into a book so blind that you're easily surprised. I feel like if you focus on the synopsis so much, then you build up this high expectation that, to me, if it's not met, it just makes it significantly less enjoyable. So I think I'm just gonna pick one at random, and I think it's gonna be November 9. But regardless, I definitely hope to read another Colleen Hoover book in September. And then lastly, I do want to read more graphic novel and manga in September as well. I haven't read many lately. I definitely would love to get to Heartstopper Volume 2. I read Volume 1 in June and was obsessed with it. It is so good, so cute, stunning, stunning, stunning. So I would love to read Volume 2, maybe even Volume 3 as well, but I definitely plan on continuing with Heartstopper in September. I would also like to pick up a couple other manga as well. I was thinking I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, but I'm not quite sure if I want to cry. If I remember correctly, I think this is one that made a lot of people cry. I was also thinking of Your Name, 5 centimeters per second, or maybe Venus in the Blind Spot by Junji Ito. I have a couple different mangas running through my head that I kind of have been interested in reading lately, so we'll see if I get to any of those. But yeah, that is pretty much my reading plans for September. It's kind of a lot considering how little I've been reading lately, and it's kind of all over the place, but my mood has also been all over the place. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below to help support this channel, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, to follow me on my reading journey. And like always, all of my socials will be down below, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, wherever you fancy, and keep up with me a little bit more closely. That way we can be friends. So yeah, once again, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.